Amazing. How's life been? How's things? I know you probably have like a lot more time now.
Yeah, yeah, a lot more. Well, saying that, um, setting something up actually is I forgot just the ins and outs that needs to go into something. When you've been away for it, because prior to joining Systemized, I'd been a coach for the best part of 8 years. Of those 8 years, probably six of those were in the gym, two of those were online during the pandemic, or three of those were online during the pandemic, and then I joined Systemized. So yeah, like setting something up again, it's been a while.
Was it a similar audience you were working with
No,
before? Like,
no,
okay.
no. When I was in the gym, mate, it was everybody and everything, right? And
Yeah.
then when I became online as part of a mentorship group, and the mentorship group really pushed high ticket, um, really tap into the busy professionals, and like it's just a bit shit. So
Yeah, okay, I hear that. So it's almost like a complete different, like it seems like it's much more aligned towards what you want to do
totally,
now.
so much more aligned. And when I made the realization of just exactly what it was I wanted to do and who I wanted to coach, it's almost like this um moment of like, wow, this is it. This makes sense now. Because I'm going through it, like I'm living it every single day. And I think when you live it and you've got a story to tell, how you got there, and also the journey that you've been on to get to where you're at, it's so powerful.
Yeah, it's massive. It's kind of like what I remember like looking for your page and for the audit as well. It's so powerful because your content be so easy then because it's literally you documenting you living it kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, what I post up now is just basically you know,
Yeah.
what I want to do and where I'm at and what I'm doing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And then what kind of success have you had? So with the two price points you mentioned, the one-to-one and then the lower ticket one. What kind of success have you had with that so far? Is it completely like
Mate,
completely?
it's not even launched. Like I've not even started. Basically just what I've been doing in is I dabbled with the content that's up. Some of it was up come April this year, and then I took a hiatus because work Systemize got so busy. Um, and then only when I left Systemize, I started posting again. So in terms of like actually running or bringing clients in, I haven't, because I've been working with George, and I didn't want to do that to him. So my time was very much committed to Systemize at the time. So I'm basically starting like as of 3 weeks ago.
So okay, I see. And then I know you mentioned like an email list and the content. Where are you at? Like, what's your thinking? What's the plan with where you want to take it a minute?
Um, I'm talking to a guy that's like all in on social media. So like I think emails emails you always have, and you can, for those who aren't hot, you can nurture along the way. And those people on the email list will most likely join, maybe the wrong opinion, but my opinion, a more of a one-to-one program. Anybody on social media can of course sign up to one-to-one programs. However, I feel I don't want to do any, like, hand on heart, I'm not doing any sales calls. Like, so it's really going to be driving people to like the low ticket and upsell them into one to one if they need the help and support. But the low ticket is going to be the, like, yeah, just get people coming into that.
Okay, and then the low ticket, I think that's about £30 a month.
Oh yeah, man, it's like extremely low ticket. Like it's peanuts in comparison.
Yeah.
But for me, my logic and my thinking behind that was, as a dad, like all your disposable cash is, especially in a newborn phase, going to nappies, going to food. Then as the child gets older, it's going on to play dates and cafe dates, etc., right? So you don't. I could drop 30 quid a month. I could drop 80 quid a month without talking to my wife about it. If I'm to drop, like, as a dad, like anywhere in excess of like 150 upwards, I'm having a conversation. And then I feel like as a dad, it's like you need that time for yourself. Like you need your identity because you lose it. So that's why the price point is for that group coaching where it's at, because it's like I'm gonna do something for me that I don't need to talk to anybody about, and this is for me only. Of course, the one-to-one would then bring an aspect of, a conversation with the partners or whatever. But that's the logic behind it.
Cool. Okay. Amazing. And then I really like that because then it's clear in terms of the direction you want to take. I think as well with the low ticket, it is really cool that it is actually super low because I think sometimes I see coaches like say, "Oh, I have a low ticket," but it's like really awkward of a price where it's like not really low ticket, but it's not really 1 to 1 either, and it's just
Yeah,
you kind of get both disadvantages of doing all of that. Um,
I've just realized as well. I'm actually logged on to the systemized. I'm on my iPad as well, so I've probably not changed it over.
Yeah, I was wondering beforehand. I was like, who is Felicio?
Oops.
Cool. And then where do you want to take it? What's the kind of like goal with it? Like, is it particular client numbers? Is it just a particular like, work schedule? I'm not sure what's the dream outcome.
Yeah, so the outcome for the group, the outcome for the business is to create a community of dads where we lean on each other and support each other to help through those difficult times, but also have a soundboard to kind of speak to, because there's nothing out there. It's all driven to the mums, especially in like Edinburgh, where I'm based. And the goal is just to kind of, in my head, the goal is just to build this community, and the community is just, you have to pay to be part of it, but it just grows and grows and grows and grows, and it becomes this hub, this like safe place. And fitness for me is going to be like the reverse engineered. It's going to be like I've done lifestyle coaching and all that sort of stuff, and for me, it's like changing the lifestyle of that individual first, then integrating fitness into it. Because if you said to me 2 years ago, try and get into the gym 3 times a week, not going to happen. Not a chance. But can I go for a 20-minute walk with a buggy? Can I go for yeah, I can. So it's like building those lifestyle habits up first, and then let's bring fitness in when you are ready. So that's why I've kind of gone with this price point as well, because the 150 is going to be some people are ready to go for it, but the majority to begin with potentially are looking at just an ease in to it.
Cool, amazing. And is that kind of almost just delivered? I know you meant, I'm guessing it'll be like an app and in a group, like a Facebook group or school, or would it be
It'll
less?
be it'll be like, again, keeping all the costs down. So it'll be Facebook group,
Okay.
the monthly, there'll be a monthly PDF drop with um fitness program, a lifestyle audit. I'm trying to avoid any apps at the moment, but that will come probably back in later on. Like I've done apps in the past, not built them, but like Trainer Eyes and True Coach, and
Yeah.
like you've spoken to heaps of people about it and probably used them yourself. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just yeah, I think a PDF's just like, okay, they've got it. They can
I
just,
mean, yeah.
because I'm not programming one-to-one, right?
Yeah.
I'm programming in a group. So
Yeah. Amazing. Cool. Perfect. I get that. And then in terms of like so this is kind of, I guess, big picture stuff. It's almost like I'm guessing the Joe Wick style model, like in a way where it's like kind of fairly low ticket, I believe, and it's like a Facebook group. Right. I see a lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah. If
mums.
that's a comparison, if that's a comparison, then yeah, sure, let's run with that.
But yeah, I definitely see like a lot of people do it for the female audience, even a few clients, but not really done well or executed with the dads and guys in general. I find it
Mm-hmm.
can be really cool. And then almost just get people for the 1 to 1 as an upsell rather than doing DMs to calls.
Yeah, yeah. I think the way I'm also kind of treating it is like treating it in a gym setting, building building that rapport with somebody before they like commit. And you can do it on a call. If you've been following each other, or like you and I, we've been kind of loosely chatting for a wee while, so we kind of know each other's background a little bit. But if you're, I've sat on calls, mate. I've done this selling at 997 and 1497, and yeah, I'm just like, nah, I'm not 38 years old. I just want to like help people now. I don't want to like go and force them into a program.
Yeah. I hear that. And it's like it's one of those as well, especially when like at the moment people have done it quite a few times.
Mm,
They've probably been on these calls before, like because like it's I think over lockdown you probably like it's quite new and quite novel and people are quite like, oh, what's this? And because now everyone's done it and it's like they've been at least one call, it's completely different.
yeah,
Um, so did it not work in terms of, or was it just not like that? I guess the type of audience for the higher ticket stuff is just not.
it worked. It worked. I lost one of my best friends to cancer, 2 years ago, just before and just as Nora was born. Actually, my daughter's 2.5, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't in the best place. I wasn't delivering what I needed to deliver. I wasn't. I just had to solely focus on my daughter, and obviously the grief aspect as well. And then just so happened that George, George and I, we've known each other for a lot longer than I've worked for him. And then he messaged me out of the blue saying, "Oh, do you want to help me with Systemized?" I was like, "Yeah, done." I was just like literally made that decision, cut ties, took no clients on. Clients just like left as the months went on, and that was that. I just needed because my mate was in fitness as well, and he was a coach. I needed a good business. I was just like, nah, I'm just out of it. I just needed that separation.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, but like, really sorry to hear that.
That's cool. That's all right. Thank you.
Um, yeah, okay. I guess the only reason I was just wondering is only because like I'm just thinking like almost if I was in your shoes in terms of like if you need a stability first and safety,
Mm-hmm.
um, I can see the 150 almost like the 150 a month almost getting you to like stability and safety a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my whole post, and I definitely think the 30 pound one would work really well. But, however, I think if you need like the safety and stability, like in the next month or two, I don't know your situation, but if
No,
you
I don't.
okay, cool, amazing.
I don't need that. Because it's obviously there's there's yeah stuff there's money there's savings that
Okay,
but I don't
yeah,
need to. I don't need to, it doesn't need to work straight away.
cool. Yeah, that's the only thing because I speak to a lot of like I speak to a lot of guys that are like, oh, I've only got like a month or two runway, and it's like
No, no, I don't have that. I'm fortunate enough where I was sensible.
amazing. So almost like a 6 month-ish runway. Like, what's realistic to get the like
Let's go 6 months.
cool. What I'd say then for you is like the easiest, simplest way I see that kind of working is just using like some kind of social media, like either Instagram or something like that, to like as a real top of funnel kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing to pull people in. And I think what's cool with your stuff is it can be much broader. Like you can talk about fitness, but because it's dads, I can imagine like we've had one of our clients, I'll send you the profile after, like will do really well with like teachers by just posting like very uh
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
teacher relevant content. Like it was like memes and funny content to do with teachers. And then on the back end, he could warm people up into fitness with like more kind of long form content. So I almost think for you, it could be what like that could work really well. Just use Instagram
Mm-hmm.
for what it is. It's like very much like mindful, like fast scrolling. It's like relatable shares and saves and stuff like that. So almost using that to pull new people in and new leads, like top of like very top of funnel content to pull people in, get them to
Mm-hmm.
follow you, and then on the back end you could use DMs. To be fair, just Instagram DMs to sell,
Yeah. Yeah.
or for the coaching. Um, could work really well. So I might be wrong, but I think like for your audience, like a mix of like maybe some relatable stuff, like to do with like usually like relationship, like the three kind of big ones are usually relationships, relationship, wealth, and then anything kind of maybe mindset related.
Mm-hmm.
Seems
Mm-hmm.
to do quite well in those three brackets. Anything that's funny, like whether your kind of normal person, like natural personality is,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
would work really well. Some people are like very genuine, like very kind of naturally funny, and they can get away with like lots of meme style content. Some people not so much. So
I think I fall in not so much category.
yeah, I'm exactly the same. So like, there's nothing. Like very very rarely anything funny, anything like that. But like more serious, more like managing family, managing kids, like stuff like that, managing
Yeah,
life in general could work really well. Get them to follow, because they'll see how good the content is. And then you just need, in my opinion, for that project, you just need a large volume of people there.
yeah. It's going to be volume for sure, volume based. I mean, I think the a good benchmark in in the next kind of 3 to 6 months would be possibly looking at like 100 people in at
100.
in at the 30 quid
Cool.
program, and then I'd, I'd probably 25 on the 150, and then scaling the group coaching, well, basically group coaching to, well, it's limitless really the amount of people that can go on it. So
Yeah. And you might at some point, I think at that point, you might also need almost like a content plan
yeah,
for the group as well, to be fair, just
mm-hmm.
to keep their attention high, because I think they'll just be mostly paying for. What's cool with this is like you can almost have it like down, and when you get to 100 people, when you get to that number, you can even look at maybe like meetups and like in post like cool things
Yeah, look,
like that.
that's yeah. I mean, all so basically, I don't know if it was you I was telling. There's going to be like an offline component as well, where it's like quarterly meetups, like a park run, a hill climb, but bringing that online community offline and actually meeting people, because yeah, you can chat like this, but it's not. You don't get that aura, you don't get that vibe, you don't get like, yeah. So there's definitely going to be
Yeah,
offline to it.
that'd be cool. And then you can even set like, I guess the selling point. I might be wrong, but like selling point could even be some kind of calls. I guess like if you have like any weekly huddles or
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, all the usual stuff's going to be
yeah,
filtered in at some point. It's just coming up with
getting
the
people.
right kind of frequency, and obviously the people going into it as well. So that's why I was thinking like a launch aspect would be good to get a volume based number in straight away, rather than like having one person come in and two people, like let's just get like a chunk in,
Yeah.
and then that way.
Do you think it'd work like from a launch perspective, launching it to uh leads you've had from the gym floor and like leads you've had from over the years? Or
Yeah. I mean, I've got an email. I do have an email list that's been obviously stagnant for the last 18 months. And obviously that's male and females within there. So anybody that's female, it's probably not a dad wanting to drop off, and fine. But yeah, I could definitely push out to that as well.
yeah, I think that like even if it's like even like a email list or you've seen by now, I quite like WhatsApp,
Yeah,
WhatsApp messaging. Been playing
yeah,
around with podcast lists and stuff like that. Like I quite like the personal touch of like WhatsApp messaging. Could even be worth like just playing around with a few variations, just again like almost just like build excitement. And I do see people do it where like it's very much like the doors close at this time for this period of time, almost just create a bit of urgency. Almost
yeah,
like even the first few months, you can almost have it like based on like an intake thing where it's like at this time will be open, and then after you can't join until XYZ date, say on the front end, for example, or as a text message. Um,
yeah. That makes sense.
and I think that'd be the easiest way to actually get people in. So get 10, 20 people in really quickly for like old leads, old conversations, and build up the social media in the meantime
Mm-hmm.
to get a huge, like a bigger number of leads in to
Yeah,
the message. Um, but yeah, I honestly think it's really exciting because I think you have like there's not many people. Like, I think there's definitely a need for it, and I think there's definitely people that would want that and would want a demand for. Like there is a demand for it because
mm-hmm.
like even just from like the sad part is like even just from like a loneliness perspective and just from a community perspective and having people to speak to, I don't think
Yeah,
there's much like that. So there's like lots of selling points you can use just for the low ticket within a fitness space. Like it could be fitness, but it could also be just dads in general that are not into fitness at all were looking to get into it or looking to kind of get some headspace back, or if they're feeling overwhelmed, like stressed, etc. It can be
yeah,
big.
yeah. It's kicking all those, it's crossing all those different factors for sure.
Yeah, I think that that'd be really cool. So I would say like for you steps wise, like again, just off the conversation we've had so far, like if I were you, would maybe look at would be almost crafting some kind of an email, either like a sequence, like a few email style sequences or WhatsApp
Mm-hmm.
text messages to the leads you've had from the gym floor, and then your coaching before, and then just re-messaging those, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of just telling them what you've been up to, how it works, and then almost just selling that via like a payment link, like a Stripe
Yes.
link or anything like that would work really well for that. Get people in through that way round. And then from there build up. In the meantime, you can then start building up the social media side of things. So just more like optimizing the first bit of the page where it's very like I would say the angle that works really well is just like a very personal story brand on the front end for your social media, and then using the top of funnel kind of more viral style content to actually pull new people in, and specifically
Mm-hmm.
ads. That's kind of what I would say
Okay.
work
Okay.
really well. Then you can use from there. From there, once you have more people coming in, you can use stuff like Instagram stories just to get people commenting, replying, and then you just showcasing your lifestyle as well would
Yeah.
be a selling point.
Okay.
Kind of what
Sounds
I'd probably
interesting.
say.
Sounds good.
Was there anything else? Anything else you think you wanted to do? Was there any kind of other strategy?
Um, no, like I was looking at your stuff, and especially the viral things with like the memes. I've got, like the classic one with the guy from The Hangover in the casino with all the numbers going around, and you see that one.
Yeah, yeah,
I've like going down like dropping a few of those per week. Um, of like dads calculating how they can find the time to
yeah,
focus on their lifestyle, health, and well-being, and family and whatnot.
yeah,
Um, I think that's really good for virality. Um, in the in the hope and the quest that it's done what you've done. Because you've dropped those posts in, like, and you've gone from, let's face it, like a couple hundred or maybe 1,000
yeah,
people boomed right up when you're 11.5 or whatever million views you've got. That's come from a few of those posts, and I'm just like, it's not rocket science. It's just like putting the right content to the right people and
yeah.
having a little bit of a twist and a little bit of message to get, all right, this is cool, let's just share this. It's like,
Yeah, it's
so
exactly that. And like I'll be honest, like I wasn't pushing like social media at all
yeah.
like, before this year, and I was like, oh, what are people like? Some of your guys from S2S doing? What are some of the clients in general doing that works really well?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like the more people you have, because it's a broad audience as well. Like it makes it a lot easier to sell to. And I think the whole, like you mentioned before, the whole niche, very very specific niche side of things. I think because so many people have done it,
Mm-hmm.
it almost can become a bit exhausted where like everyone's on a call, like every busy dad that's a busy professional has been on a sale on at least one sales call. There's more resistance,
Yeah.
be more open to actually just buying in DMs now because no one's actually like doing that. No one's actually taking that personal approach to it.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, I think that's definitely one of the routes I'm going down. But in terms of like, do I have anything else? It's been really nice chatting to you. It was pretty much 18 months of like passing clients off to you. So it's been really nice to just chat to you.